Okay. Before we start, maybe you can share your name and your country in the chat, your job position. Let's chat a little bit. Hey, Manuel, how are you? Okay. I'm looking for the chat here to see if there's any other message. Come on, guys. Where are you from? Okay, so I will start presenting myself. I am Wendy. I am the marketing manager at Albato. And if you're still not familiar, Albato is a no-code integration platform with AI-powered automations and a white label model aimed for SaaS companies that can embed our capabilities into their interfaces to provide a native experience to their end users. And here with me today, we have Valeria, who is the head of business development at UniOne and also the business development manager at Salzi. So maybe Valeria, you can go ahead and say some words about yourself and UniOne and also Salzi.
Yeah. Hi, Wendy. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for the introduction. So, yeah, well, we at Celsi and UniOne as a team have been already for over 15 years in the email industry, watching and observing how it goes through like various of transformations. And this one with the AI, yeah, it's one of the most exciting that we are currently observing. So I'd be happy to talk on the topic and unveil how users, yeah, can just really go beyond the like AI subject generation and image generation, yeah, and use this tool, yeah, on the like maximum to get the most from the email campaigns.
Oh, perfect. Thank you very much. We have one person in the chat. Hello, Mirko from Germany. Welcome. So basically, I can make a introduction of the subject and why we choose this subject. Today, we are going to discuss how to boost SaaS retention by 30% with AI-powered email. And why we choose this topic? It's because we can see right now that with the rising of acquisition costs, the retention has become even more important and it's considered like the new growth engine for the companies. And in this scenario, the email still remains as the most controllable and high ROI channel for driving this retention. But we also have to consider that AI is fully redefining the way that the companies build their customer relationships. So what's changed now? It's how AI supercharges email marketing with many different types of technologies. So right now we have machine learning that predicts churn and timing. We have generative AI that personalize content at a scale. We have adaptive workflows that adjust messages in real time based on user behavior. And consider all those things around us. Sometimes companies can be a little lost on how to start and what they can do to be in this new era of AI, specifically regarding email. So that's what we are going to discuss here. We are going to share some case studies. I will also share with you some automation ideas. And at the end, we are going to have a Q&A section. So if you have any questions during the webinar, you can please drop them in the chat and we are going to address them at the end. Valeria, do you want to add something before we officially start?
Yeah. Thanks, Wendy. Maybe just like a quick drop in that like unlike many can feel that like AI is still feeling like something, like not so authentic or like, yes, synthetic. Yeah, I'd like to make an example of the case study that has been held by our like friends from an email builder, Stripe. Yeah, they ran about 5 campaigns to dozens of thousands of their users. Yeah, and they've kind of made a research of how users react to subject lines written by human beings and by AI. And like the surprising things that the results were really the same. Yeah, and that's just like the one example showing how AI is transforming learning, yeah, and becoming like better and better integrated into our lives. And that's not the most exciting one that we have for today. So yeah, later I'll show you like even more inspiring samples and case studies of how it can be a really like handy tool for your email strategy and for your overall like retention strategy boosting sales.
Yeah, perfect. That's I totally agreed, and I I saw this study you mentioned, and it's really relevant. We will be sending some links of those studies that we will mention in the chat. So if you're interested, you can also dive into it. But I was saying about the importance of the email, and people used to say that email is the backbone of SaaS communication. So I would like to start with your opinion about why do you think it happens when people have this perception?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one, Wendy. Thanks. Like, actually, even say that, like people often are divided into like two groups. Yeah, some of them like know that email is a backbone. Like, some can say that email is kind of dead, and they usually say it like from year to year. But what we actually see that, like, nevertheless, the number of email users, yeah, it is increasing steadily. Like in 2024, we know there were over like 4.4 billion email users worldwide, while considering like the recent researches by the end of this year, there will be supposed around like 4.6 billion, yeah, and around like 4.10 or even 5 billion by the end of 2028. And this is all the audience that we can communicate with. And moreover, unlike many other channels like ads, yeah, or bots, it's really controllable, owned by us, reliable. Yeah, we can always know how people interact with our emails. Yeah, may make reasonable improvements, yeah, to get the most from the campaign. And well, yeah, it's still the main channel for us to get critical notifications. So yeah, anyway, like people will be will be reading the emails, and it is good news for us that we can use this channel for our purposes.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree. I think it we should explore other channels, but indeed, in my experience, email have been working very well. It's like a international approach. We also can try, for example, WhatsApp, but it's not that popular worldwide, or even Telegram. For example, in Brazil, I am Brazil, we're not that we don't use it a lot. So email is still a lot of there's a lot of fame around email because it's reliable and because people really use email. So those numbers even make me happy to see that our strategy is in the right way. And specifically because it connects every stage of the customer journey from onboarding to renew, and it will guide the user through this process, right? And it's not only about the transactional part, it's about also the customer engagement around it. But yeah, maybe in the scenario with AI that we mentioned, this role of AI in this personalization and segmentation. Could you also share, please, how do you think it happens in practice to indeed generate the customer engagement?
Oh, yeah, then that's a good point to talk about next. Well, the last one example that is like my favorite one and excited me the most in terms of how AI powers the email strategy for SaaS. It's the case of HubSpot. Yeah, I guess like many of you guys might know the HubSpot. At least when you are like searching for some information on like marketing and technology, yeah, most likely you will drive onto their blog, yeah, because so they're good, great job in terms of content creation. So what they done, yeah, they like brought it to the level where, like mm, no like human being team, yeah, could just repeat that because they've invented another type of personalization. Yeah, you know that when you want like to get some piece of content on HubSpot, yeah, most likely you will be asked to leave your contacts, sign up. Yeah, so they taught AI, yeah, to analyze those sign up forms, yeah, those content that the person has been requested. Then the AI went to the website, to the social of the business that requested the specific type of content. Yeah, in that way, they analyzed like why this business might want this type of content. What are like the goals? Yeah, the actual business goals behind that. In terms of that, yeah, the AI thought of like more complex strategy. Yeah, that this person is accomplishing. Then they've tried to create the like perfect piece of content that would interested them in addition to the one they requested, and then they've searched through like their existing base of the content for like the best fit and send it in the email, yeah, with the personalization, yeah, why they feel like it should be also useful, handy information for that. And like it might sound a bit like tricky, like and as a fantasy in the theory, but well, a practical practical figures, yeah, they've shown that there has been an 82% increase in conversion rate, yeah, from like the interest to the users, which is extremely significant, yeah, actually. In addition, according like to these emails that they sent, they were read 30% better, yeah, than the previous campaigns without this personalization. And there also was a 50% increase in click-through rates. Yeah, so it is like proven, yeah, that this content that AI found, yeah, supposed to be useful, that it was really found like interesting and relevant by those subscribers, by those users. Yeah, in practice, it felt like it was like, okay, yeah, we've got a cold brew coffee company who requested some information about like this influence in marketing. Yeah, so like probably they might want to run into some seasonal campaign, yeah, or like new products launch. So we will send them a marketing content strategy tailored for their business with a captivating subject line like turn every sip into a story that captivates and converts. Yeah, and like this level of personalization is much more intended, yeah, to convert users than just like, oh, Wendy, I feel like this might be interesting for you. Yeah, like you feel this like personal business approach, and of course that converts much better.
Yeah, that's a really, really great example here. And we also use HubSpot in Albato. So we are also trying to get those tips from other companies and check what they are doing, what they are achieving with those actions, and how we can work to improve it through automation. So maybe I can also share some examples and use cases, but on our side. Just to give you a brief context, here in Albato, we send emails both via UniOne and Celsi, the platforms that are represented here today by Valeria. So I will share my screen just to show you a little bit how it works and also share the automations. Mhm. Okay, I think you already can see my screen. Basically, here you have the templates that we created inside UniOne, and we use those emails for as a transactional emails, and they are triggered based on the data we receive in our back end. That means when a new user registers for a free trial in Albato in our platform, then we will send this information to UniOne and it will activate the sending of a sequence of emails. And this sequence might be changed according to the user behavior. So basically, we have a default structure for the onboarding. I made a new register in Albato a couple days ago just to show you the first sequence. But for example, first we send a general email for the account activation. Then we send a second one showing users how to automate their workflow. And then we keep sending emails during the trial to help people move forward and create their automations and get the most of our platform during this period. And even when they create a successful automation, we send a specific email. When they face some kind of error, we also send an email. And we keep sending those sequence by the last day of the trial. And then we start triggering emails if the user also upgrade. So it's not only for the onboarding, we still there for the renew of the plan and to help user move forward step by step on how to create the first automation, their use cases, the best practices, and what they can do to achieve best results. So it's all about the timing, the right timing to achieve the user to provide what they want. So they don't need to keep struggling with the tool or trying something that they still not sure how it works, or even wait for 10 days to use the platform and then see that our trial just stay active for 7 days. So we are there all the time in the right time to help user with our emails, transactional emails. But it's also interesting to note that we can also use UniOne to send emails via automation. We are not doing it here in Albato right now, but I have prepared a basically example for you. So for example, if you run a side campaign or something like this, you can create an automation that can really work for your company. And in my example, I am, let's say, collecting some leads via Google Forms. So I will run here in real time for you, just for you to see how it works. I am requesting here some basic data from the users. And here I added as a variable the language, but of course you can use the fields that you want, the variables that you want. for your own form and consider the context of your company. And then the idea is that the form activate, trigger an automation inside the Albato platform. So that's it, our interface, if you're still not familiar with it. This is the trigger. So I select here the Google Forms in the trigger. I just select the form that I'm using right now, that is this test one. Then I decide to add a step here, an action with Google Sheets. So I will send all my data to this spreadsheet that I have already created. So I select the spreadsheet here, and I can also map the fields. So in my spreadsheet, I create the first column with the name of the user. So I will select here the variable that comes from Google Forms with the name information. Then I'm doing the same thing for the email, the company, and the language, each one in the respective column. Then I will use here the branching tool. That is a tool that we use to set different conditions and create a different logic for your automation depending on these conditions. So I set 3 steps here, 3 different approaches here. If the user selects English as the language, the automation will go to this step specifically. If the user selects Spanish, it will move to this step, and Portuguese to this step. So I have already created 3 templates in UniOne in the 3 languages, and I select each one of them in the respective language here in the automation. So if you look here for the settings, you will see first that I am adding the user email, that I will send email, and I can also add some extra fields to customize the email as well. And here I am selecting the conditions for the branching. So English, Spanish, and Portuguese. That's just a really simple scenario just to show you how you can also run side campaigns using Albato and UniOne. This automation is specifically, it's API based. That means that we have a little delay. Oh, you can see here in the symbol, API. In Albato, we have automations via API and webhook. Webhook, it's an automation that runs in real time. API, there's a delay, in general, 5 minutes. You can set up different types of delays, and the minimum amount will be depend on your plan inside Albato. So I have already filled the form, and we will see here in a couple minutes in the history the result of this automation. But basically, I have already created some examples previously. I will add like 30 days here to show you. So here, there are no submissions in the form, and those ones with the green message, that there are the ones that receive data from the form and move forward with the automation. So we can see here the data from the form, then the details in the spreadsheet with the field mapping. That's the spreadsheet, and all the other examples I created previously. And then at the end, the branching tool and the sending of the email based on the language the user selected. So here, it's the English version of my template. Here, my email and the status that was a success. So we can see here the sending of the email. Soon it will appear here as well, the one that I submitted. And I can even show you in a couple minutes when we have the results. Yeah, that's the first approach that we use. I mean, with UniOne, with the trigger from our backend, and also using side automations for side events. And we also have the use of Celsi inside Albato. and we use Salesy specifically for marketing emails. So, for example, for this webinar specifically, we create an automation with Salesy, and we improve it with different steps. So we can also integrate HubSpot, considering that Valeria have already mentioned it, and also OpenAI, as our main topic here today, it's about AI. So there's the other example. So basically, the structure is similar with the previous example, but I added some extra steps. And everything starts when someone fills the form inside the landing page of this webinar. Yeah, I will use this webinar as a real example. So the user will fill this information in the form. We will receive it. The landing page is in Webflow, so we will receive it via webhook from Webflow. Then I will do the same. I will add the leads data into a spreadsheet, a new one. And I even mapped more fields here like UTM information, company website. I put separately first name and last name so you can map everything in your spreadsheet. Then, as I mentioned, we are using Salesy. So in this case, we add the lead email and also the contact list, the ID of the list we are using for sending emails about this webinar specifically. We can also set other parameters, including some personalization, as I also mentioned in the previous example. Here we are using name and last name, but we can also add some extra fields here for custom emails. For HubSpot, we work with HubSpot as our CRM, and in HubSpot we have 3 types of entities: so contact, deal, and company. So what we will do here? First, we will see if the leads who register for our webinar, it's already in our CRM. So we first look for the contact, we add the email, and we check if it already exists in HubSpot. If it still doesn't exist, then we use the router to check this condition. We create a new contact. Otherwise, if the contact already exists, we will just jump the first option and just update the contact. Regarding the second entity, we are doing something similar, that they're deals. So we first look for the deals, and then we also use this router to check the condition and see if the deal already exists in our pipeline. Then we also use a second condition to check in which pipeline the deals is right now. So if the deal doesn't exist, we create a new deal and add them to our sales pipeline. Otherwise, we will just associate the existing deal in the sales pipeline with the contact. And here we can associate both with the contact that we create right now or with the content that already existed previously and we check it in the first condition. Then we have this automation delay, because in general, we used to wait around 5 minutes for HubSpot to create the company entity. Then we run the company search with the company name that we receive in the form. Then we associate the deal with the company and start using AI to improve this workflow. So first, we ask the OpenAI, the ChatGPT, to describe the lead's ICP based on the company information. Then we also ask the ChatGPT to describe the company as a whole. We create a specifically prompt for each one of those requests. And at the end, we share information about our ICP and the criteria they should check and ask them to create an ICP scoring. At the end, we update the spreadsheet that we create at the beginning with all those informations from ChatGPT. So we added new columns for it in the spreadsheet, and then we update those columns. And at the end, we also send a Slack message to our team so they can see the information about this lead. I run here 2 examples so you can check them. And I also keep it open here, the examples in the log, in the history. So you will see that the first example just have 6 steps and this other one has 17 steps. That's because if the lead already exists in our pipeline, the deal already exists, we will just um, find both of them, connect them, and send a message to Slack. Otherwise, we are going to move forward with all the process that I mentioned, find contact, create or update content, find deal, associate deal and contact, associate with the company, use ChatGPT to add extra information for this lead, update the spreadsheet, and then at the end, send a Slack message. So there are this full scenario here, and you can keep improving it with many other steps according to your needs and according to the scenario or the campaign you're planning to run in your company. But basically, the idea is to show you that we can have personalization and the right timing and use AI to maximize this process, generate consistency, and provide more engagement with for the user. And everything at the end with the engagement will generate also the retention that we are mentioning here. So they're just simple examples, but you can see how they can help you and how you can use it inside your company to improve this retention. Valeria, I'm not hearing you. Maybe you're muted. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When like I was just too involved, too excited by your examples because that's really, like a great base. I'd say like fundamental things about how we can use, first of all, automation, which like saves tons of time, yeah, and brings our efficiency to a higher level. Yeah, and when linked with the AI, yeah, it brings us really infinite opportunities. Yeah, because like in the example that you've shown, yeah, you currently mostly use AI to add some data, yeah, to your CRM, yeah, to make more detailed descriptions of your prospects, of your customers. While on the opposite, yeah, we can also use AI agents to get the most of information we can obtain about our prospects, and as well as from our internal databases and from the web, yeah, in order to make like more personalized, more targeted offers and deals, and as a result, yeah, boost our conversion rates and earn more money, which is like the often the most popular thing, yeah, and the most desired goal for businesses. And the like the other thing that goes beyond like using AI in terms of like collecting just this data about the prospect, it in terms of emails, is also that it gives us powerful tools for delivery optimization. Yeah, because nowadays we know that like open rates and delivery rates, they are more just like cool figures. Yeah, that marketers might feel happy about when they are higher, yeah, and more sad when they are low. They actually impact our overall strategy, because the higher overall open rates, click rates, are, the better our like sender's reputation is, and the better our inbox placement and deliverability is. So when we are talking about using AI here, we can also think of automating the way how we analyze the best time for sending specific types of emails. Yeah, which depends on the geography of your audience, depends on the content. Yeah, because for example, yeah, I can read some kind of more business related content during business hours, while some promotions, yeah, I'd rather like read in the evening where when I have time, like to check out. Yeah, and when we analyze that using AI, when we know that, yeah, we can automate the way how we send our emails, how we schedule specific campaigns to get the highest possible open rates, and like as a result, better overall email deliverability and inbox placement. Yeah, on our side as an email service provider, we also kind of like use some secret methods from AI, yeah, to like get information on how responsible some of our senders are. Yeah, because like our goal is to protect our good senders' reputation, yeah, and to provide them with the best email deliverability. Uh, the other like basic thing, yeah, is email creation itself in terms of templates. Like I think that many of ESPs nowadays use AI assistants in their email builder. Yeah, we were like one of the pioneers in that. Yeah, so nowadays you can like there's no need to go, outside in other tool just to generate the subject line or generate the according image, same as like proofread your text or even get, like exported advices on how to improve it for better conversion. Yeah, you can do this all like inside both like UniOne and Salsi, and that feels like basics nowadays, while customized AI prompts, yeah, they can actually improve and enhance your overall email strategy, because what AI does really like better and faster, yeah, than people is analytics, because you can just automate it many scenarios in terms of like engagement pattern insights, for example, like summarizing your like weeks, months, quarters email engagement by segments, yeah, highlighting existing like spikes or drops in opens, clicks, conversion, depending on some like less engaged audience. Yeah, you can also enable some automation for running A/B tests, adjusting the content according to like more personalized approach, to improve how your subscribers, yeah, how they interact with your emails, or predict, yeah, and prevent churn, because when we have lots of data on the long distance, yeah, we can see when some of subscribers, they are like more supposed to leave us or to stop reading. Yeah, and like in this specific, like timestamp, we can send them something engaging, maybe some gamification content, or something that they were really interested in the past with an updated approach. Yeah, in this way, making reactivation also more targeted, more personalized, and more efficient as a result, um, without like not talking of like this automated dynamic subject lines, like in that example with HubSpot, yeah, when the AI generates these subject lines that like that really goes to the heart of the person that receives it, yeah, because it aligns with what your subscriber is actually thinking of, yeah, with their wishes and pains. Also, it may be some like upsell renewal forecasting, yeah, because like if we have some let's say segment of the audience that we know has upgraded after like some sorting patterns, yeah, AI can also analyze that, like what features they used prior to that, or what content they read prior to that. Based on that, we can adapt it, yeah, make it more engaging, yeah, and convert like our new prospects into paying customers, into upgrades better and faster. And like as you showed, Wendy, yeah, it might take some time to build these kind of automations, yet the like overall amount of time it saves, yeah, because you only build each automation, you only create each prompt once, and then it works for you like when you sleep, when you have a rest, yeah, just like bringing in the desired results and income and increasing retention and sales, what we actually, yeah, are talking about today.
Yeah, totally. That's a perfect examples of scenarios and how we can fit them into our strategy. And I'm not sure, I'm seeing that some new people are joining us in the chat. Welcome, guys. If you have any question, please drop in the chat if you missed something. And you don't feel, don't be shame. You can just ask once again and we can address the topic here. But in this meantime, maybe I can also take the opportunity to show you something new in Albato. It's not released yet, but as we are using AI to create the email, to send the email, to analyze the email, we are thinking about how to use AI to also build the automations for sending those emails for you. So right now, as Valerie mentioned, you take time to create the automation, create a prompt, but then it saves your time forever. But right now, we will not even need to spend some time to create this automation. We will have a feature soon. The name is Copilot. We also have some beta tests for it. And I will share my screen just once again to show you how it will works and how we are using AI in the whole process of implementing this new strategy, not only for emails, but also for emails, but for the other automations you want to build to optimize your routine. So I will share my screen once again. There's a video, it's not public yet. We are going to publish soon. But basically here you can see how it will works. So we will just need to ask the bot the automation wants to structure. In this case, they are also using HubSpot and Slack. And then in the same time, the AI will create it for you and even map the fields. As I show you, have this option to map the fields. Then you can just double check everything, start the automation, check, run a test. In this case, they're running a test. And then at the end, they will look at the history to see how the data came from you. So as you see, just a couple seconds and you have your automation as well. So it will be even better to work with AI right now in your business. And another feature that I would like to highlight before we ramp up is Albato Embedded, because right now we are using a lot of automations with emails, but our users also want to use this. And for SaaS companies, they can provide this kind of automations for their end users as well. So they can allow their users to connect not only with email tools, but also with AI tools and more than 1,000 apps that we already have in Albato in a white label way. So that's our embedded feature as well, and might be also a good strategy to disseminate this new way things are working now with AI. So if you're interested, we can also run a demo with you. We will be dropping in the chat the links, not only for the embedded demo, but if you also want to try Albato for free and try UniOne for free, um, and discover more possibilities on how to work with those tools, you can go there and try it for a while. And if you have any questions, of course, we are here to help you with anything you need. Um, that's it. The extra information I would like to add. So if you don't have any other questions, I think we can just kind of summarize a little bit what we have discussed it here, right, Valeria? And then just to give an overview of the topics we mentioned, um, we address here the how email with AI can improve retention by driving extra engagement from your users. And we address topics like the importance of segmentation, personalization, time optimization, content adjusting, retargeting, customer journey mapping, adjusted automated campaign management, all of this using AI. And how you will check if this is working on your side. Keep using the right tools. Here we share a couple of examples with HubSpot, UniOne and Salesy, OpenAI, and also Albato. But also keep an eye on your analytics, run A/B tests, and also keep on track on what you're achieving and what your users are sharing as feedback from this new ecosystem. So I understand there's a lot of new things and a lot of new technologies, but maybe you could start with the basic one like AI and automation. That's already a lot. And for sure, it will be the first step to improve even more your strategy. Valeria, maybe you also have any tip or recommendation or something interesting about the webinar that you would like to highlight before we end.
Yeah, that's been an awesome bottom line, Wendy. Thanks. What I'd like to add is that like at Salzy and UniOne, we are all about assisting all the new users in their journey with the emails. Yeah, and of course, like adding, including AI into your business processes, it might feel kind of tricky and challenging at the first steps because like each business is unique. There are kind of like general prompts, yeah, but anyway, first off, you should think of your goals, yeah, of your users, of your prospects, in order to bring and to get like the best results. And if there's anything you'd like to discuss in terms of your business cases, in terms of how you'd like to discover AI and emails in their synergy, yeah, feel free to contact us. Yeah, we are also welcome and to make any kind of like either demos or consultations just to see whether like this connection can be a match for your project, for your business. And yeah, like A/B testing is a key I'd like to stress on that because, like, unless you have many hypotheses and check them and see which are working better and which need improvement, yeah, it's hard to define like this winning strategy. So yeah, and in terms of course, there are like proven ones Wendy mentioned, and so it makes sense to keep an eye on all the new opportunities because like even at Albato, they're always adding lots of new integrations, yeah, that you can check out in order to improve your overall workflow. So yeah, like being open to new tools, to new knowledge, new capabilities is like one of the most crucial things to success, I'd say. So yeah, thanks a lot for coming here. Yeah, and for finding time and for starting this journey, which I believe is exciting and makes total sense in 2025 and beyond.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you very much. It was a great moment, a great discussion, and I hope the users can have some extra insights to start building a new workflow with new tools and a new approach in this new era. And we will be this webinar will be recorded and sent you by email. If you register in the landing page, we will send you an email by the end of the week with the link. So if you want to revisit any information, you can uh, do it. And of course, feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions or if you'd like any advice or something like this. It will be a pleasure um, to help you in some way. That's it then. Thank you very much, Valeria. It was great to have you here with us today and hope to have some extra moments together in the future.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Wendy. Same here.
That's it. See you. Bye bye.
See you. Bye.